Unsolicited advice.
What you whispering for? Yo, what's unsolicited advice? Take it or leave it. You know, they say money can't buy you happiness. And also they say money can't buy you love. But money, people always say money ain't everything, and money can't buy you happiness. I don't necessarily. I think it all depends. I think you have to go through it to decide for yourself. Tell that to somebody that's homeless. Tell that to somebody that's broke. Tell that to somebody that's about to lose everything. If money can't bring you happiness, tell somebody that just bought a brand new car. Never had money to get a new car, and just got a brand new car. Tell that to somebody that just bought a home. Never had the money to do it, but now finally got a chance. That's real happiness. Now, let's break it down though. So yes, money can buy certain kinds of happiness. It reduces stress, when your basic needs are covered, food, housing, like I was talking about, healthcare, safety. Yes, it brings you that type of happiness. When your basic needs are met. I know all the time, like even when I pay a bill and I have money I also have money to go and get groceries too, and that's a win to me. Like if I have money to get all the groceries I want, and I go buy me, a steak with the grocery money and stuff. Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. What are we talking about? Hell yeah, love it. Get your little steak, or you go to the the produce section and get the good stuff because you got a little extra change. Yes, that's a win. That's a nice kind of happiness. Having money gives you freedom of choice. Like traveling, pursuing hobbies, spending more time with loved ones. Yes, it definitely can bring that type of happiness. But I know people report like a higher life satisfaction when you're financially stable. So yes, in those ways, definitely it brings a lot of happiness, So those are the good parts. Like Richard Pryor said, it's better to have it than to need it. And not have it at all. So it's more of that. You just want to make sure that your basic needs are met and that you can take care of yourself. And if you need to do something, you can. That's when money makes you happy. That type of money can buy happiness. Now, we'll talk about where it doesn't guarantee happiness. So once your basic needs and a comfortable lifestyle is met, extra money can diminish that return on happiness. So the thing about it is once you go past that and say, you know what, I know I got everything I need, but I just want to keep getting more. I want more and more and more. That's when you're going to start realizing that you're not as happy as you thought you were. You definitely aren't going to be as happy as you'd like to be or as you thought that you were. It's nothing personal. It's just what it is. We all go through that in life where we think that we got to have more. We got to have it all. We got to collect it all. Got to have it. We don't. We don't need it. Happiness is more deeply tied to things money can't directly buy. So meaningful relationships, a sense of purpose, and personal growth. Now, money can buy health. You can pay, to make sure that you're healthy. Like going to your doctor's visits, or if you need to get surgery done, or if you got money to hire a personal chef to make sure you're eating right. Or a personal trainer. Yes, but it can't buy a meaningful relationship. Ask people who are rich and wealthy if if people have married them for, you know, because they love them, or if they married them for their money. You know, you can't buy a relationship. You know, you just can't. If you tie your worth or joy only to wealth, you know, you'll likely keep chasing, you know, the next thing. You know, you won't ever be content. Like, I remember I used to get cussed out by females because I would always say I'm content, I'm good. You know, they look at me like, why would you say you're content? You should never be content. You should always be looking for a new goal and stuff. And I'm like, I've been there before, and what made me happy is reaching that goal. And I knew eventually I had to sit my ass down somewhere and be content with what I had. I wanted to, you know, appreciate what I had. I didn't want to just say, oh, okay, I did this, let me put that down and let me go and chase something else. I wanted to be content. And even in a relationship, I would tell them, oh yeah, I'm content. And like, they, you know, some people will look at you with a stank face like, why would you say you're content? That's why you have to be careful about chasing things, because you're never going to be happy. You're never going to know what real happiness is because you haven't stopped to enjoy your, you know, the fruits of your labor. You bust your ass all the time. You work hard. You eventually have to stop and say, you know what? Let me enjoy and appreciate my hard work and the things that I've done. So a good way to think about it is money is like a tool. You know, it's not the destination. Okay, it's just a tool. So it can buy comfort and freedom, you know, and opportunities, but, you know, it can't buy peace of mind, you know, it can't buy love, and, you know, and it can't fulfill, you know, certain things on its own, You know, you got to do those things. You can't use money for it. Now, of course, we all want money. We all want to have a certain amount of money where we feel comfortable. But go ask people who have it if they're happy. You know, if money makes them happy, they will tell you, they will give you the advice that I'm giving you now. You know, that money isn't everything. And of course, you're gonna probably roll your eyes and be like, shoot, you know, let me have some of that. But they're telling you that because they've been through it. You know, they've seen the ugly side of it, where people only come around you because you have money to offer, because they want you to take care of them, because they need something. You know, they never check on your well-being or your health. They just know that you got money. You know, being a man, there's nothing worse than meeting someone. You know, there's nothing worse than meeting someone and you realize they're only with you for your money. You know, as a woman, there's nothing worse than to have money and a guy only wants to live with you or be with you because you're supplying their life, you're taking care of them. Like, no. You know, so yes, money can bring you happiness, but money can't buy everything. Take that advice.